welcome once again, Ken, to Poppies TV. A little while since you've been on. A lot has happened with Kettering Town over the last few weeks. Most notably, of course, first of all, we had the service of remembrance for the ashes that were scattered at Rockingham Road, reinterred here at Latimer Park. A wonderful service by the Reverend Jess Safford. Everybody is aware and has seen the disappointing and distressing photographs of the demolished Rockingham Road. Our spiritual home has gone forever. As people have said, the skyline will never be the same. And also there are plenty of rumours that I hope you can probably help us out with a little bit, I'm not sure if you can, about an alleged site that may be something that the council and the club are working on to resurrect Kettering Town back in the borough of the town.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, yes, the service that we had, I think, was true testament to the fans and their families who had the ashes scattered at Rockingham Road. I think it was the right thing to do, and Jez did a brilliant job, supported by the club and the trust. And I think that was a good ending, if you like, to Rockingham Road. Rockingham Road itself, you know, yes, I had over 50 years going to Rockingham Road. It was my second home, and we'll all miss it. But you know, we've got to move on. We've got to move on, and by seeing the actual pictures and videos of the ground coming down, it's very sad. Had to happen in the end. I don't think there was any realistic chance that we would have gone back there, money wise, and even the state of the ground itself was such that if we'd ever got back there, the cost to actually get that back to a fully functioning ground was prohibitive, really.
Was that really ever on the cards at all, that there was a possibility of going back? I mean, there was always hinted that would happen, I think more by fans than anybody else. Was there any actual evidence that we could have gone back to Rockingham Road?
Well, to get back there we had to pay the money to actually buy the place, and the end alleged amount of money that was paid for Rockingham Road by housing developers would be way out of our league. A lot of money, we understand, changed hands. So I don't think there was ever a realistic prospect. We put a bid in when the thing went out to tender, a very low bid, one that we could afford, and of course nothing happened following that. So at the end of the day, I know fans will be very upset, but at the end of the day, I think there was never any realistic prospect of going back there.
Well, since Rockingham Road has been demolished, there's been quite a lot of rumour on the social media sites and around the football grounds around about Kettering having a site maybe in Kettering that they can move to away from Latimer Park, if that is the course. We know that Richie June did have some plans drawn up how Latimer Park could be developed, which we put in our programme last season. That's always a possibility there. But has anything really developed from the Borough Council and the club towards a site in Kettering?
Well, it's been publicised that we've met the council. We've put a site to them and asked them to come back to us whether that site would be feasible and viable for us to take on. We're still
Any clue what that is, Ken? Can we say anything?
No, it'd be wrong to do that, because obviously we need to respect the Borough Council. We need to work with them rather than against them. So it'd be wrong to give any indication as to where that site actually is.
But it is in Kettering.
It's in Kettering, and that's ultimately where it would be preferable to be. The thing is, at the moment we're at Latimer Park, and I put in my programme notes today that the lease is signed. 25-year lease is operative from the 7th of November. So if all else fails, we're here now for 25 years. You're right, Richie put in some projections, some plans as to what we'd like to see here, and this site is still very important to the club anyway in terms of the future, because even if there is another site in Kettering that we can have and we can develop, it's highly likely that we would keep this site for our academy and all the junior teams and the teams that still play here, and it would become a really viable site just by doing that. particularly if we could have a 3G surface just out back of here.
If we should gain promotion this season, which you never know, we're just outside the playoffs at the moment and are fighting to get back into the conference, what would be needed? I did hear rumours of 2 stands being built down the side that we're at here. Is that any truth in that at all, or would the ground need to be upgraded to meet the conference south or north requirements?
There is a little bit of work to do. Funnily enough, not a great amount. I mean, we have to, within a certain time period, have to have seats in stands. We've got 3 stands at the moment. Ideally, to meet the requirements, I think we probably have to have 2 with a certain number of seats. But it can all be done. So there isn't any real issue with us being promoted should we be successful. So there is the means to do it, and there is the ability to do it, and we would meet the criteria.
Getting back to more football topic now, of course, we are only in 5th place and we've got a few games in hand, as Ed Palmer mentioned before you came on. We're playing bottom of the league at Gosport today. You've been to all the games like I have this season. How do you think, in yourself, does it feel this season? How do you think things are going?
Well, you say we're only in 5th place. I think if before the start of the season, if you'd have said to me at the end of November we would be in 5th place or better, we would probably say, well, that's great. That's great. And
is it because though the great start, we had all those wins in a row and we looked like we were going to pile through it, and suddenly we had one blip? We've lost only 2 games.
Yeah, indeed. And I think supporters need to realise that, have a look at the league table and just see exactly what the record is. I don't tend to look very carefully at the league table till about end of January, and see where we are then. We're playing a team today who are bottom of the league. So what? It's 11 players against 11. You have to go out with the right attitude. And if you don't, you'll get caught out.
Well, Kettering in a similar sort of position in 2011-12 when Gosport rammed 7 past Kettering, 9-man Kettering, if I remember right, in a midweek game and took no mercy. It's the sort of thing that we've got to do today, isn't it? Really take no mercy on Gosport Borough and hopefully get some goal difference back.
Well, we've got to play to our ability. We've got to put the ball in the net, stop them scoring. That's football. If we win 1-0, we win.
Yeah.
If we win 5-0, that's great. But just let's
winning
get a
is
win.
The most important.
Let's get a win. Let's go out with the right attitude. Yeah.
Anything finally for the fans before the exciting December starts with those great games that are coming against Hereford United, not Hereford United, but Hereford AFC coming down here. Should be a massive gate. We're progressing into the Northants Senior Cup against our rivals down the road. It's still a lot to fight for this season, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean the league is the most important thing. Not only we got potentially Hereford, we've got Kings Lynn on the New Year's Day. We have had a number of weeks without home games, which makes cash flow difficult, and I hope supporters will stick with us. Ideally we'd like to have a home game, then an away game, week in, week out, but it doesn't work out like that. Mm. So we've got a glut of home games, which we hope the fans will come out and support us. And pay through the turnstile. We need help. We need the money. I know we're trying to sell a lot of stuff today, including maybe shirts.
I haven't seen one. I did see some scarves and some prints, but I didn't see any shirts.
I haven't seen any shirts yet, but I'm sure they must be around.
It was a rumour, though, wasn't it? It was only a rumour, wasn't it? If I remember right. So.
Yeah, but we hope fans will stick with us. I know fans like to see a winning team, and that's only natural. It's human nature. We're not going to win every game. Hopefully we'll still win the majority, and hopefully we'll be in the mix come the end of April.
Okay, Ken, well thank you very much once again for your frank views. I know you've got your match day duties to attend to, and you can toddle off and do those, and we'll speak to you again sometime in the new year, with hopefully we're on top of the league or pressing for that position. Maybe a bit more news for you all out there, but you've heard it here from the horse's mouth. All those rumours now can be quashed. You've heard the actual statements from Kettering Town's board, chairman, and of course President Ken.